I'm Rachel J, and this is Cultivator Kitchen. Today we are making vegan pozole in the Instant Pot. Here are all the ingredients that we're going to need today. I'm going to use my homemade veggie broth. You guys can see that in my last video, how I make that, but any veggie broth you have is fine. I'm going to use a 25-ounce can of hominy. That's essential to making pozole. And I'm also going to add in a can of green chilies. This is a small one, just 4 ounces. I've got my usual favorite 4 spices: paprika, onion, garlic, and sea salt. And I've got 2 jars of organic green salsa, some lemon juice just to squeeze on top at the end. I've got 3 garlic cloves minced up in here. These are from my garden. And normally I use half a yellow onion, but red onion is what I could get from grocery delivery right now. So I have a small red onion. I just put the whole thing, and 1 cup of potatoes. These potatoes I grew this past summer in my garden, but this is also where you could put your meat substitute if you wanted to put some soy chicken or soy curls or whatever you're into. So that's why I call this my cheater pozole, really, because I'm using salsa as my sauce base and putting potatoes in, and this only takes 10 minutes in the Instapot. This is just a quicker and easier version. And I'm going to put half a head of green cabbage shredded. So I'm going to get that cut up and put everything in the Instant Pot. The first thing I'm going to do is set my Instant Pot to saute mode and put in my onions and garlic. While those are sauteing, I like to put in a little veggie broth just to help them cook down, and we'll wait till they're translucent. That's looking awesome. It's a little steamy, so I hope you guys can see, but the onions look sauteed, so I'm going to throw in our spices and mix those in. Once your spices are incorporated, then add your potatoes and chilies. At this point, I'm going to cancel saute mode and get all the rest of the ingredients in here to go to our pressure cook. For hominy, I like to rinse it really, really well. So I'm gonna strain and rinse this. There's generally a lot of added sodium in the liquid in here, depending what brand you got. So just to be safe, I'm gonna rinse these off and then add them to the pot. All right, all the hominy has been rinsed off, and I'm going to go ahead and add these. I also went ahead and shredded all of our cabbage. Normally cabbage is a raw topping on top of finished pozole, but for some reason I just really like to cook it and have it inside the stew. So I'm gonna do that as well and add all this cabbage to our pot. And cabbage cooks down a lot, so this will look like too much cabbage, but I promise once it's done cooking, it'll be just the right amount. Next, we're going to put our 2 jars of Salsa Verde, which is our tomatillo salsa. Normally, I would make this from scratch, but it's the middle of winter, so I'm going to use some of this organic one from Whole Foods, and it works pretty well as a soup base. It's quite a liquidy salsa, so it's not one I would actually want to dip chips into or something, so I feel like this is the perfect use for store-bought salsa. And last but not least, I just shook it all up so it's a little foamy, but I'm going to pour some of my homemade broth on top. Of course, I just dripped it everywhere because I'm doing this one-handed, but about half a jar. And the liquid will filter down through the cabbage. So just about 2 cups is good. And that's it. We're going to put on the lid, set the valve to sealing, and I'm going to put this on pressure cook for 10 minutes. See you guys when it's all done. As I mentioned, I call this my cheater pozole. It's definitely not a traditional recipe, but it's a quick and easy family meal you can make in the Instant Pot. I hope you guys are gonna love it. I'll check back in when it's all done. And I just realized I do not have cilantro. If you have some cilantro, that would be awesome on top. The Instant Pot finished, and I meant to quick release it right away, but I accidentally left it for 12 minutes, so you know, do what you gotta do. But I'm gonna release the steam very carefully. You wanna make sure you don't put your hand on top of the valve, because when you release it, this is pretty full, there's gonna be a lot. So I'm gonna pull this back. You also kind of don't want it under the edge of your cabinet. Maybe that's just me, but I like to not steam vent my cabinets. All right, let's go. So I'm going to open it up. And it looks so, so good. Lots of hominy, potatoes, veggies, a nice, delicious, very spicy sauce. This is just really filling, satisfying, inexpensive, and quick and easy to make. This is still extremely, extremely hot, so I recommend letting this sit for about 10 minutes and then serving it up. I'll show you when I've got it all plated. And last but not least, I'm going to squeeze a little bit of lemon juice over the top. And as I mentioned, I completely don't have cilantro, so if you have some, that would add some nice color and of course flavor to the top of this Mexican stew. And this also makes excellent leftovers. And when you reheat it, you can put it back in your Instant Pot and put it on saute mode and bring it up to temperature. If you've put it in the fridge overnight, you might want to add a little more broth just to thin it out. And yeah, we normally get a few meals out of this. And happy first video of 2021. Thank you guys for sticking with me. There's so many new folks here. I'm really, really pumped. I have a lot of great content planned, and I hope you guys love this. I'll see you next time.